going to spend the rest of this module reviewing chapters 2 through 4, outlining some of the theories upon which we built this method: equity, feedback research, Bloom's taxonomy, and cognitive load. Do you recall our discussion of equity versus equality from last time? I love this particular graphic, which so clearly illustrates the distinctions between the terms. Inequality is when one gets more or better tools or assistance than another. So in this graphic, they both stand on the ground, but the one boy is given an apple while the other boy is not. Equal is when both people have the same access to opportunities. So both receive the same height ladder, even though the right side of the tree clearly has both fewer apples available and those available remain out of reach even with the ladder. Providing the student on the right with a slightly higher ladder due to his particular circumstances allows him to access the few apples on his side. That is equity. Let's start by reviewing some examples of issues that detract from student performance, but have nothing to do with intellect. The way differentiation is typically approached, students in these populations are exposed to a simplified curriculum without many opportunities to challenge themselves, independent of why they are placed in these classes. That's tracking. Kids' family lives may be difficult. Parents may not be home to help due to jobs, or they may not be capable of helping due to their own personal situations. Students may not be in a financial situation that will allow for tutoring when needed. Students cannot seek before or after school extra help because of issues with rides or the need to take care of siblings or maybe earn money. Some students don't have time or a quiet place to do their homework. Compliance-based classroom management strategies create a power dynamic that places the teacher above the student as a figure that's to be obeyed. This sends the message that student voices don't matter. My classroom versus our space. That's not a conducive atmosphere for learning for some students. Any of these factors will create unintentional inequity. Even when schools try their best to address equity, often they only provide equality. All students in a particular school get access to the same books, desks, teachers, etc. But in the classroom, how do we compensate for individual circumstances that put learning out of reach? The learning progression model addresses this situation in 4 main ways. There is a low floor but a high ceiling, which means that it's easy to have some initial success and positive reinforcement to get onto the lowest rung of the success ladder. It also means that there's plenty of room to grow for those who are ready. There is no penalty for the rate of skill acquisition, which means that students have the ability to succeed without stressing about bumps along the road. There is an intrinsic reward for consistent effort. There is no risk involved in trying and perhaps failing. There is differentiation of support, but not of opportunity, which means that we can allow each student to work on skills with as much or as little support as they need. The long-term goal is independence, of course, but the scaffolding can be removed gradually over time from those who need to lean on it. There are built-in acknowledgments and rewards for what students can do, not for what they can't.